Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Anagramus, once again, the video about Godshed. Now, for those of you that have been part of the Facebook groups, I have two of them out there. One is just Abaddon Gaming and Software. The other one is Godshed Development, a smaller group that helps decide on the flow of the game and give me immediate feedback on what's going on with the game. Well, I've been doing this map stuff for a little while now. What you see on the screen was made in Campaign Cartographer. And it's kind of like, Godshed's a role-playing and strategy mixed game, but it also has board game elements to it. It seems like a lot of games these days have click and you get to instantly go where you want to go. I personally think that's going to be a fad. And I'm thinking of development for, next year, 2 years from now. What kind of games out there people are going to be interested in? I think the click and instantly be there, isn't for role-playing games. And, so this leads me with a couple of decisions here. The map you see here is called Tudor Island. It's basically where you start out to learn the game. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to 10. There's red circles there. And it has got a name above it. This is one map style that I've put out there. This is currently the demo that you're looking at. Well, the unpolished demo is what you're looking at here. And you can see how there's a lot of color. There's mountains, there's trees, there's different colored trees. There's a castle, bridges, ponds. There's an obelisk, bandit camps. All these kinds of things take a lot of time to develop, and I'm not complaining about that, but just stating the fact. Now, I can show you another item. Give me a moment. So here is another map. You can see, I know it's smaller, but you can see how it looks really neat. People have given me a lot of compliments on the map design. But it's really busy. There's a lot going on there. So I'm wondering what you think. Okay? I want to hear what you think. Put it in the comments of the YouTube section. Do you think this is too busy? If I were to imagine this place being 15 of those circles that I showed you from the demo piece, plotted all over the islands. Now you have to click on them and go all over the place. Okay, so do you like this? Do you think this is too? Because what I want to show you here is another idea that I have.
Okay. Where I design a board game, and it's not really a board game. The only reason that I call this a board game is because of the movement on the local map. So I just showed you a local map. Now what I would propose to do is create unique looking boards, like levels if you're playing Super Mario Brothers or some other game that's been out there for 20, 30 years, where you move around on different levels. Well, here, it's just like those paths that I showed you in the other piece. So 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would be the same thing here. Like this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And what you do is, all these little white hexagons there, they represent spaces. They're just markers. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So at first, you start over here, first position, in this example. So you hit the spin button, and I didn't program a spinning button yet. It's just a button that does a random number generator. I think it's up to 10. So I'll click on it once. I rolled a 4. So you can see the player is moving. The blue represents the player's piece. Now, later on, I'll design some cool looking, icons or tokens that you can choose from as a player, and you move along. So now you moved to space number 5. Now, when this is done, space number 5 would have some content. So you could be in a forest. You could be near a river, because I could paint a river up here. Right up in here, I could paint a little river, and it goes through the card a little bit.
just, a little bit of decoration there. I could have trees surrounding this piece so that when you land on it, you know you're in a forest. And then, you could click that button or click your game piece and it'll know you're in room number 5 or tile number 5. And it'll ask you, do you want to investigate? Do you want to explore this tile? Or do you want to spin again? Now, there's also situations where you are forced to explore a tile. I have not programmed it. I'm not showing it to you here, but this was inspired by some other games out there where, let's say this piece right here that I'm waving at right here, let's say that one was all red in the background. That would suggest or mean that you have to stop there. So even if I rolled, let's say that's 1, 2, 3, 4, even if I rolled a 5, which would take me one space beyond here, I would still be forced to stop here. And I would lose that one extra spin turn or tile turn that I could move. And you'd be forced to do an action here. Sometimes it's as simple as maybe there's a river there that's really tough to cross, so you have to decide how you want to cross it. There could be another one where it is a checkpoint. So maybe there's a military in the region that you are not allied with. Or it could be a town. Maybe you're running into a town and it's going to ask you, do you want to do something here? Or, all number of things. Maybe there's an active battle going on. Or the enemy. So what this does is it gives me the opportunity to have an enemy, red pieces. They'd be red pieces instead of the blue pieces. They'd be going all over the map too, just like another board game, any other board games that you played with other people. But when you interact with them, it forces a battle. Or maybe they're an ally. Maybe they're a friend of yours through Facebook or other, social media places. Maybe you're playing with a friend, because I hope to have this as a multiplayer game. And then maybe you can exchange information, or you can exchange items. It could even be a traveling merchant. So I would color code that yellow or something like that, so it's neutral. You could have a random merchant running around on the board that bumps into you with a special item that you could buy. So there's all kinds of fun stuff here. I'm really excited about the board game concept. But again, I just wanted to know what you feel about it. Now, I'm going to show you these encounter cards. So there's two cards, an event card and an encounter card. So I'm just going to show you an example. It's not complete yet, but just to give you a feel for what it is. So one of these tiles or board pieces would be orange, and it would represent an encounter card. So think about other games that have been around where you land on a certain, space, and then you pick up a card like, different tiles. There's several games out there. I don't want to mention them here, but you land on a space and you pick up an encounter card, and you have to do what it says or something occurs. So an encounter card, I click on it here. It picks a random card out of the deck for you. Your party arrives upon a rickety wagon that has long been abandoned. And then this will go away. These percentages will go away, but I just wanted to show you what the computer will be calculating. So, because imagine yourself going upon a rickety old wagon in medieval times, and what's going to happen? A 15% chance nothing is going on. There's nothing there for you to salvage. There's no people to talk to. Nothing. 10% chance of finding battle. Maybe there's a couple bandits waiting in ambush to attack you. 10% chance of finding NPC. Maybe there is a merchant there. Or maybe there's somebody there at the same time as you, that says, hey, stranger, how's it going? Hey, I just heard there's a quest over here in this town over here. Or, hey, I found this item in this wagon and I was wondering if you wanted it. And then suddenly you get an item from the NPC. That kind of thing. 25% chance of finding a poor item, 20% chance of finding average, 10% chance of finding good item, and 6% chance of finding a recruit. Now remember, in this game, you are a single person representing a party. So you pick up allies and friends, and you hire recruits, or people volunteer to join your forces, and you walk around the board with an army. I'm not talking about a 50,000 or 100,000 army, but
you basically walk around with, eventually up to 50 people. You're representing 50 people when you have these blue markers. They're in your party. So you go into combat with these 50 people, and you duke it out against whoever you're fighting. Some people get wounded, some people get killed. So sometimes finding a recruit for free might be a good thing. Finally, 4% chance of finding a great item. And of course, at the bottom here, reward based on province. So if you're in a province that represents level 30 of the game, starting from 1 to 100 and level 30, you're not going to see an item in a level 30 area that is based on a level 2. So you're not going to find a blunt wooden sword on a level 30 province and an encounter card representing a level 30. So that's what that means there. So you just click it off and it's gone. Let's spin again. I'll just show you. So 5, 3, 2, 1. One more move. Now when you're clicking the spin button, other people can also play. It's turn-based with the computer. So you click spin. Ooh, that's a big roll. You go 8 times. Now here's the thing. You cannot stop. Okay? So if you saw something really good on 3 spots away but you roll an 8, well, you're going to miss it. Okay, that's just part of the game element. In reality, yes, you can stop and do stuff, but, we got to have this made as a game. I mean, if you want real life, go get, a Dungeons and Dragons kit and a wizard's cape and go have fun at a Renaissance fair. That's not what this is. So there are some limitations. It is a game. And what I'm going to do is there's going to be situations or loops where you can choose to go back. So there could be a bridge here that allows you, instead of going to the right, you could go back down and try to find something interesting. Now, my goal is to have that planned out strategically so that if you miss something, let's say it's right over in here, well, you go flying right by it, and then somehow you land over here and it's a stop. Maybe it says stop. You're at a bridge. Would you like to cross the bridge and go over here? Or no, would you like to, go next turn, go this way? So, then I'll have a goodie over here. So basically, if you say, yes, I want to cross the bridge, it automatically will give you the goodie that you missed because you flew right by it. Okay.